Hey, my name is Scotty, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sketch these shiny objects using my simple technique, which is great for beginners. Some of the challenges that we're going to face are the metallic surfaces, so the reflections, as well as the shadows, how we're going to put those onto the wall, and then how do you capture all those interesting shapes quickly. But if you want to follow along step by step, I've got the full version of this tutorial without all the cuts over on my Patreon membership. I've also got the high-res reference you can download and the template to go with it. So as we start the line work today, we've got lots of interesting shapes with the pots and pans. We've got a colander and a grater. So we've got lots of items there. How do we capture them quickly and accurately, but keep it really loose? So the 2 points I want to focus on today is comparative measuring and also using a one-line technique. So as I sketch these out today and I go through the shapes, we're using comparative measuring, which means as we sketch each object, we're comparing it to the last object that we drew. So on the reference here, I've got these blue lines. I'm going to put blue lines on the reference and I'm calling it my eye tracker. So these blue lines are going to show you where my eye is looking and what I'm comparing it to. Now, we're not doing it perfectly or exactly, but I'm going to show you what I'm thinking and where I'm looking on how to draw the next shape. And each shape, don't focus on getting that shape perfectly each time as you do your first line. I'm going to use dots as a guide, but as I do my line, I'm going to see that it might not be perfect, which is good, because then I can draw a second line and even it out, and it makes it look really loose. Even though I've done two lines, the shape will look the right shape, but there'll be a few lines to describe it. So they're my 2 tips for your line work today. And now let's get on with the sketch. So let's start with this shape at the top. Let's draw that top bar where all the items are hanging off. So I start here and I'm going to draw a straight line right across the page. Relatively flat. And then we come down and I'm going to give it thickness. Holding my pen lightly and I'm in the middle. Now I'm going to go back. So don't just stop there. Go back, let it go, weave in and out on the line. Now the pegs. So this is where we start our observational sketching. First, draw right in the middle of your bar you've done there. Draw a circle, little circle. How do we draw this one? How do we know how far apart? Well, look at that gap and I'm comparing it to the last object. So this bar compared to the thickness. I can tell in the reference that that width is longer than this height. So I'm going to come across about the height of this bar, about there, but a little bit more. Now we know they're all even, so let's just draw these across. 4 and 5. Now the other way, there's one this way, and then we've got 4. Can you see the eye tracker there? So how far does it come down, and how wide is it? How far it comes down, I can compare it to the height again. Roughly 2. 1, 2. Comparative measuring the width. So I can see it comes out, and see that blue line there? Comparing it to that peg. And down here, a little bit in from this one. So now can you see how I place that in reference to this first one? This object would be a very difficult object to do as an engineering drawing, but we're not doing that. We're just looking at the shapes, building them. They're not as accurate as an engineering drawing. And each one, I want you to try and do with one line. So within those dots, that red shape is in the top 2/3. It sort of doesn't come right down to the bottom. So I start at the top here, then come down the side towards the dot, but I stop about 2/3 down, and then I'm following the same curve I did at the top, whatever that was, and up. Now here, you don't have to stop. You could go back and adjust. So if that line was a bit wonky, adjust it like that. Just go back over it. So going around here, it goes out a little bit and out a little bit. Sometimes you can do more dots. And that's about an oval shape. So even though there's a bit more subtle detail there, I'm just going to continue the oval shape around. It's not quite right. You could go back and go like that. There's obviously a step in there. It goes steps in. The same width as the kettle. It goes up like this. Down and then a thickness. And then comes right down and almost comes, that's that bottom edge there. And now the handle has to go to the hook. So that same distance, I have to come out here. It's again going around. Don't stop. Back this way. We've got the spout. Cuts the side there in the middle. Where does the spout go to? And you can compare it to this edge and the handle. about there, around like this. Sometimes on the bottom edges, I go over it again on purpose because it makes that bottom edge a bit darker because that's away from the light. There's some detail there. And it should have that sketchy look. You almost might look a bit wonky, but that's okay. Go on to the next shape. Your whole overall feeling of your sketch will be really nice. So we're going down here, the next shape. So below this peg, coming down and putting a dot there, that's the top of the handle. Going past this kettle and a bit lower. So there, that's the handle. Curves in, it's the circle, and now this little shape there. Got the eye tracker active again. This distance here, I'm comparing that distance to the kettle. Okay, so about 2 of these kettles. 1, 2. So put a dot in the middle. So get that width, come across, put a dot. Come across this way. So I'm going to go for it from each point to each quarter around in one line. And if I see myself going off, I think, yes, I can do a second line and make it look sketchy. And I'm going to go around again, because there is an edge, a lip on the pan. So come down a bit. It's easier when you can follow the outside. Okay, eye tracker on. Let's have a look. Now, where am I looking? See the blue line? The edge is equal with this one, and it's at an angle. Between these 2 points, put a dot, coming out the same, and here. The halfway to the end, put a dot, all the way around, and 2 circles here. See how wonky there, going back over it. All the little circles. Saucepan we've got here. So the eye tracker says we go down, and then you can see it's cutting there on the colander, the bottom of the colander, and around the handle. It has 3 shapes. Now I can compare it to this one. Across, dots either side. Okay, so this side's a little bit out, a bit more than the other, so I'm coming in like that. So that's my height of that circle. Middle point, around like that. And then a circle through here. The greater here. Now eye tracker says it's below this circle. A little bit of a taper. These little holes on the greater. Next saucepan we go down. Now let's see that the top of the handle's here. The second handle is below this point. Then this weird shape handle bends out in the middle of this circle. Side point the same. But instead of going an arc right to here, I'm going to just make it stop before the handle. So I'm drawing this like an arc like that, and then straight across, and then another arc up to there, and straight across. Circle wise, probably that middle dot, and the top and the bottom. That's what we can use there. Go over to the other side. Eye tracker says we go below this in the middle of the pan. Point there. Going down, we can cut behind the kettle spout. So I'm putting 2 dots. Careful with this one. Here, and the bottom goes below this one. So coming up here, it's away from the side of the pan. It's inside this peg. Go around the top edge, and then curve in. Then we've got the onions, and then the detail here. Now the garlic. In between to about there on the pan, so there. Go around each shape, and then it has the middle. Goes down from the side there, past the basket, at the top of the garlic. The same distance out each side. Nice circle. Now the gloves to the bottom. Glove fingers. So there's the line work using comparative measuring to do each object, and a one-line technique to draw those shapes really quickly. Now let's get on to some watercolor. So fill up your brush with water, and then we're going to do a quick stroke across the top to get a bit of that texture from the wall. So I'm starting here, just going to go like that. Continue going around all the objects, and then in between where there's a bit of wall showing, I'm going to dry this. The next step is to paint each object with a very light wash of each color. So first color we're going to use is yellow ochre. I'm going to go right across on the onions. For the kettle we're going to use burnt sienna. Can you see on the reference there's a reflection here that goes across this part of the kettle? There's also a reflection, a big reflection there and a big reflection there. So avoid painting in those sections, okay? That'll really help with the reflectiveness of the metal. So I'm going to paint about half of this kettle around, and in the top just a little bit either side here and on the side there. So here I'm going to start with a warm green, which is my sap green, and then going down some cooler green, which is Viridian green. Coming down. But so now paint's grey. So we've got some black handles and saucepans, and let's pretty much paint the whole thing, making sure I don't touch the copper. Now this is an interesting one here. I'm going to paint around the edge here like that. So, and make sure I make this dark here so I can put a highlight on it with a pen. It's quite small. And the top greater here. We have dark objects on the side, so we'll see a bit of a reflection on this side. And then underneath on this side. Now let's move over to this one. And then here, around the back. I've gone over all the colours, very light. Now let's let that dry. Okay, now shadows. A lot of Patreon members mentioned to me that they wanted to learn about the shadows. There's a few lights here creating a spectrum of shadows. So we're going to simplify it down to one light coming from pretty much the top left like this, coming down across these objects. And the key here is to do a very light wash again. So I'm going to go very simple and just use ultramarine this week, but you could try any color you like. And the good thing with this is that you can add a second layer and it will make it darker. So like for example, the shadow behind there might need a second layer. So let's see how dark I've got this. I think this will be good. So I'm going to try and work quickly. We want to draw an abstract shape slightly to the right, angling down to the right. So I'm holding my brush on the side. I'm going to drag it down and then come down this way just below that greenery there. Now below this kettle, last one, the bottom of this, it has some on this side here. Now the next step, it's quite dull, but now let's bring it to life with this dark layer. So if I grab my burnt sienna, okay, to make this kettle now stand out, we can put a nice, really saturated blob there. It's sort of dark around there, so I'm going to put another stroke there and on the side. And I'm going to put a bigger stroke here. Now we've suddenly made those surfaces look a lot more shiny and pop out. So the yellow, we have yellow ochre. You can add some splatters, so I'll hold my brush in line and I'm going to tap like this. Line through there. And so there's a black bit here in the bottom of this kettle that needs to look a little bit darker. And I'm not doing all of it, it's just some of it here. There, like that. Smaller than what light grey you have already. So now we've got high contrast, but we can add a bit more with the white pen. So I'll let that dry, and then we'll add our highlights. I've already got a highlight there. Maybe I'll put a highlight here, there like that. And the rivets. Now there's lots of little dots on the inside, so I thought I'd go around and add them in. Not as many as in the reference, but... And then on shiny surfaces like this, right in the middle, we can add little highlights into that dark. So see how there's a dark point there from my dark point? You can put in a highlight like that. Now here, the highlight's a bit higher, but in my one, I'm going to put the highlight right in that dark section on the curve of the surface, so it's reflecting the light back at you. Down here too, in the dark areas to see some shiny highlights. So I've gone through the whole thing adding highlights. There might be some texture on the wall. So that's how I sketch shiny objects like these metal pots and pans and the kettle there with ink and watercolor using my simple technique. I really hope you enjoy this process. If you want the full tutorial without the cuts, that will be over on my Patreon membership. You get the reference, a template, plus access to over 130 other tutorials like this, as well as a beginner's course that you can do. If you're a beginner, you can start out, learn all the basics of how to use a pen, how to hold a pen, how to use a brush, how much water to use, and then you go on to how to get loose line work and sketching, and then it moves on to more complicated things like measuring and perspective and proportions in objects like this, but also buildings and people. The full spectrum of urban sketching. Plus, we also have a very warm and friendly community, really lovely people over there where you can share your sketch, encourage others, and you can also ask me a question. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.